Hello, and my name is Taylor McLaughlin, and I'm going to be talking to you guys a little bit about what happened in the U.S. from 1815 to 1848. So basically, everything happened. Monroe Document, the separation of church and state, like the start to that happened. Industrial Revolution, huge movement, everything, so much happened during that time. Manifest Destiny. So, that's basically the founding thing of our country was Manifest Destiny. Slavery, so many movements on slavery, so many changes happening, so many feelings happening. Women's rights was just really making moves in women's rights. And Native Americans, of course, were getting moved, and everything was changing for them too. And at some point, we had socialism thoughts coming in, and the starts to some communism happening, which bad. That was bad. Great thoughts, terrible execution. So a big thing I want to talk about is Manifest Destiny, because I just feel like that was very prominent. And in document 79, John Sullivan was talking about, everything going on with that. So basically, everyone wanted to move west because there's so much land over there that no one had even gone to. Which, one, that's going to be a lot. People just moving west where no one's been before. I think it's document 53. There was a family from Michigan that moved, or a family from New York that moved to Michigan. And the woman was like, "Hey, no one's out here, and this is awful, but I'm going to smile because we're Manifest Destiny and we're freaking moving westward." Anyways, back to document 79. Basically, a couple people went to Texas, and they were like, "Hey, America, come to Texas. This is good. This is a good thing." And then Texas was like, "Let's get into a Mexican-American war, and we're gonna take these natives, and they're gonna help us out because we're friends now." And Texas was independent. They were like, "We're an independent country, and we're doing great things over here, and we're huge in Texas, and everything's huge in Texas." And then America's like, "Nah, you're gonna be one of us." And so they were. Then all of a sudden, the free blacks that were in Texas were now slaves, and the natives to Texas were not free anymore. They weren't happy-go-lucky in Texas anymore. They were now Native Americans, and basically, well, we know, America did whatever they want with the Native Americans. Like the Trail of Tears, which happened under Jackson. Great guy. Great. He was like, "Yeah, I'm a little crazy, but I'm a common man. I get you guys. I was a slave owner. You farmers, you guys want land? Yeah, no, I'll give you land. Native Americans, you can take a hike, literally, out west." And a fifth of their population died because this guy thought the farmers deserved more land so they could be more rich. Right, yeah, I'm sure the farmers were happy. Not the fifth of the population of Cherokees that died. Are you kidding me? You're just gonna... Yeah, sorry, we promised you this? Just kidding. No, you need to leave. What? Okay. Anyways, getting off that topic before I get a little too heated, moving on to a better one. It's gonna get better. Love this one. Women's rights was huge stepping stone during this time, and Catherine from document 76 thought she was going to be awesome and say that women just needed to stay where they were. She basically, in her document, said that, "Hey, if you women get educated, you'll understand that we're subordinate to men, and we're good where we are, and you should just stay in your home, take education only so that you can educate your sons in politics, but you have absolutely zero rights for any kind of public talk whatsoever. So have fun with that, but no, we're good over here." And if you get so power hungry as a woman, you're gonna lose your virtue. So don't. Just chill. You're good where you are. And then we had Angelina Grimmick, and she was like, "Who is this Catherine? She's crazy. Does she not see what's going on? This is document 77 if you haven't caught up yet. Document 77, she's like, y'all crazy. I wrote like 12 letters to you. And why? Why would you even think that way? Why does my land go to my husband when I get married? Why is it when I work 12-hour days in terrible conditions that my husband gets my paycheck? And also, why do I have to shut up when my husband wants to talk for me? Like, I don't get an opinion? Cool. And, you know what I don't understand? This is what Angelina thought. She's like, I don't understand why slavery gets all this attention. Well, I'm oppressed by a man. My husband gets to do whatever he wants. A man says something, I don't get to talk over him. Why slavery gets all this attention? What about me? Let's talk about me. Yeah. So, that was 1837. Both of those 70s, the document 76 with Catherine and document 77, both right around 1837. Moving a few years down the road, Siena Falls Convention happens in document 78. And that was in 1848. And basically what happened was all the women were like, hey, this is bull crap. We're done with this. It was like 70 years of struggle for women's rights after that. That was like the like first, like, I'm done. Like, I don't want to deal with this anymore. Like, you guys can do your own cooking and cleaning and teaching the kids and taking care of you. I'm done. I don't want to do this. This is crazy. You guys won't even let me in college. How am I supposed to educate myself if colleges don't even want me? What? Why? I'm allowed to teach my kids, but I'm not allowed to be more educated? Are you kidding me? Okay, cool. Also, why are men allowed to do whatever they want? Why are we held to different standards? Yeah, I have virtue. Cool. Like, yeah, I love it. But why is my husband allowed to basically do whatever he wants? No. Siena Falls Convention was like, we're done. We're all linking up. And women are going to stand together and we're going to get voting rights. And we're going to get working rights. And we're basically going to do what we want. And then they struggled for 70 years. But still, it was a big moment. Anyways, back to why slavery was so important. Because Angelina was so upset because it was so important. It was. Basically, there was like 3 different sides. You had like the Northerners, you had the Southerners, and you had the slaves' point of view. So like Northerners were like, this is morally wrong, what are you guys doing? And Southerners were like, we're just trying to keep the economy going, like you just stay out of it. Northerners like, we're doing good down here, we're building continents, the Industrial Revolution, like they need this, we're gonna be rich someday. Like, we need these slaves. And slaves were like, this is awful. You guys are all crazy. Y'all wrote the Constitution, and we're still slaves. So, document 65, Frederick Douglass was like, I taught myself how to read and write from these white guys that I confused, pretending like I was an idiot. They taught me how to write stuff and spell stuff, and I got this. He was like, man, I wish I didn't do that, because now I know how bad we have it. Like, why? This is awful. Like, what are we? So he ran away. He was like, this is terrible. I learned that it was terrible because these guys believe that I could not read and write. Now I can. And just opened my eyes. So basically, he was like, I'm done. I'm running away. And he did. And he, like, got to the north. And then all of a sudden, he was like this amazing nationwide guy. Like, everyone knew who Frederick Douglass was. He was like this icon. It was awesome. And, yeah, I guess that was, like, the big, like, slavery point of view. And again, like, the Southerners, they were like, Northern, what are you guys doing? Like, you guys not even read the Bible? Like, have you not seen that, like, slavery was okay in the Bible? Like, who are you, Jesus? Like, you don't tell me what's morally right or wrong. Like, I read the Bible. They have slaves. If they really thought that we were equal, they would have told me in the Bible. Like, God doesn't think we're equal. Why do you get to decide that blacks and whites are equal? And, so basically, that was, that was like the breaking into Document 68, where Bennett Barrow was like, no, these slaves owe me. They owe me. I feed them, I clothe them, and give them a bed to sleep in at night. Like, I bought these guys. Like, no, they owe me. You guys can do stuff when I tell you to, because you owe me. And that was like, again, just another. He thought he was in the right. All Southerners thought they were in the right. Northerners thought they were in the right. Caught this big divide in the country, and the Southerners were just like, just let me do what I want. And slaves are like, get me out of here, which caused the Underground Railroad, which again didn't really help this separation mesh any better. No, they were just, it was awful. So basically, everything that could possibly start movement-wise happened during 1815 to 1848. I didn't even touch on the Industrial Revolution. That was huge. Communication, railroads, freaking newspapers were now being published for politicians. Like, Industrial Revolution was a whole nother, like, punch to this era. Basically, I think, so much happened, but at the same time, I think so much was started and not finished. I think everything that was kind of staying in this time period was almost everything I mentioned. It was like women's rights got started, but they still weren't able to vote. Slavery was starting to maybe make its way out, but it never made its way fully out by 1848. You had the Native American struggle. Like, yeah, they were starting to really make their voice heard, but they didn't quite get through yet. I think this time period is more known for the first step for a lot of things. Yeah, it was the first step because none of these movements were, I guess, like finished. I mean, heck, women's rights went on for 70 years of struggling after they first started in 1837. And so I guess like a lot started to change, but nothing really got finished in this time period. And so the next part is, do the positives actually outweigh the negatives? And yeah, I mean, there was a lot of rough times. There's especially Native Americans' Trail of Tears. You had the Mexican-American War. You had so many struggling people at the time. But the positive was that all of these people were making moves to better the future. They weren't stuck on how awful they were right then. They were ready to, heck, Siena Falls Convention, they were ready to make that first step at, hey, we're going to do something. We're going to team up. Like, I see that you're struggling and I'm struggling for the same reason. Like, let's make a move. And they did. And slavery did. And Frederick Douglass did. He made a stand. And you had all these people making stands at this time and really shaping what became of our country in between these time periods. And I think that's a positive more than any negative or any bad time could have happened. So that was basically 1815 to 1848.